Okay, good evening. My name is Diego Peñaherrera, and I'm starting this webinar with this topic, which is called introducing yourself. Uh, what do we understand by calling this introducing yourself? It has so many different answers, right? Sometimes we have we don't know exactly what we refer to. Sometimes it refers to a name. What other things do you think we can increase here? We can include uh, about this. I don't know. Who do you have any ideas about this? What do we mean by introducing yourselves? I like. Hi, Miguel. Since you are here, I don't know. You like to share your information. What do you understand by uh, introducing yourself? What information do we include when we talk about introduce yourself? Any ideas? Don't be shy. Come on, try to give me something. You got something, please? What information do we include in these cases? No, no ideas for now. Okay, let me try to give you something. Okay, let me try to help you. For example, I'm going to include here this information. Here we go. For example, what is this situation? What do you see here? Is this a formal situation, an informal situation? What do you think this is? Hmm. What do you say? What do you think this is? Any ideas? Right? Come on, try to help me here. I need your participation here so we can make it a little more dynamic and interesting. Okay? What do you say? Okay, no, not for now. So let me start. Let me try to help you here. So this is what we call a social gathering. Gathering is when we refer to uh, people interacting in an informal way. Not formal. It's not for work. It's not for studies. This is for friends, for interacting with new people, for meeting new people and stuff. Okay, that is the idea. When we talk about social gathering, it's an informal reunion, let's say, and so to make it more familiar for you. Okay, so this is the idea. So let's see. When we refer to this thing here, when we refer to social gathering, we have some information that you can share. For example, we can say when we want to introduce ourselves, we say hi, we can say hello, or we can say simply hey. Okay, this is the idea we can use here. And if we want to talk about ourselves, say I'm Diego. In my case, I'm Diego, I am Diego, or my name is Diego. Or if I want to contract, I say my name's Diego. Okay, in case somebody gets in, this is some of the things that we can uh, mhm. For example, as we were saying here, uh, in an informal situation, we can say hi, hello, or hey to introduce ourselves. In these cases, I am or am, if you want to make it a contraction. My name is on my names. Okay, this is a possibility to make it when it's a little more informal, when we're in an informal situation, in an informal context. Yeah, this is the idea. So you want to do it, you want to try, you want to try you can say hi, hello, I'm Diego. Hello. I am Diego. Hi. Hey, my name's Diego, or my name's Diego. You have these possibilities. Okay. If you want to try, please let me know. Okay. So now let's move to another context, to a different context. If you say, for example, I say to Miguel, hi, Miguel. No, hi, I'm Diego. And you say, hi, I'm Miguel. Nice to meet you. And the other response is, nice to meet you. Okay, so I put this in capital so we can have this idea clear. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay, that is the correct response. That is the correct response. Or good to meet you. Good to meet you. We changed the pronunciation a little bit, and it's very, but it's very, very important. Okay, so I say, hi, I'm Diego. Hi, I'm Miguel. Nice to meet you, Miguel. Nice to meet you, Diego. That's a possibility. Okay, so the emphasis changes. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. Okay, I think that I think that's okay, right? I don't know if that's a problem. If there's a problem here, all clear for now. Yeah, no questions here. Are we okay? Okay, I think so. I think we're cool for now. So let's continue then. Now, what is this? What do you think this is? What situation can you see here? Is it similar a gathering? Is it informal or what? Or is it a little formal? What do you say? What do you see here? What do you think this situation is? Is it similar to the previous one? Is it different? Any ideas, guys? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is what we call a business interview. Maybe the girl wants to work in a new company and she goes through this interview. So they have to change the language. It's not similar to the informal one. In this case, we're going to use a little more formal language. Okay? For example, when it's a more formal context, we don't say hi, we don't say hello, or we don't say hey. In a more formal context, we say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. If it's very late, evening is a little difficult, but just in case. Okay. Mm-hmm. For example, good morning. I am Diego Peñaherrera, and I say my full name. Okay. Or you can say good afternoon. My name is Diego Peñaherrera. Or good morning. My name is Diego Peñaherrera. Good afternoon. I am Diego Peñaherrera. Okay. In your case, you can do the same. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Please, it's very important to mark the pronunciation. No good afternoon, okay? It's good afternoon, good evening, good morning, okay? Sometimes we make this mistake and we don't pronounce correctly. But when you introduce yourself, it's very important to pronounce correctly, appropriately, okay? So if we talk about the previous one, you say hi, hello, or hey, and you use contractions. In this situation, we don't use contractions. We try to omit the contractions. Yeah? Okay. Let's continue. Everything okay so far, guys? Is that correct? Questions? That's fine? If there's no questions, I go forward. Okay, I continue. Okay? Let's move. Now, the responses are almost the same, are similar. Nice to meet you, good to meet you. But in this case, we can use also another one, which is how do you do? Right? So the first thing is nice to meet you, nice to meet you, good to meet you, good to meet you, and how do you do? How do you do? This is another way to respond, and it's a little more formal than the previous two ones. Okay? You can say, how do you do? How do you do? Exactly the same. The answer and the other response. Okay? So we say, good afternoon. My name is Diego Peñaherrera. For example, I'm Kenneth Luis. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. How do you do? How do you do? Okay? That is the way to interact when you are introducing yourself. That is the first part of this. I don't know if is there any questions, if we're okay with this. Anything there? Is that correct? Do you have any questions, guys, here?
All is okay. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Let's continue then, all right? Thank you for your response. Very good. Thank you so much. Let's see. Now, here we have this. What do you think this is? What do you call this when you go to a personal interview and you have to complete this information? What do you call this? Any ideas?
The last name, no? The
Yeah,
last
okay,
name
yeah,
is
you complete the information. Yeah, what do you call this paper? What is the name of this paper?
CV.
Yeah, okay, like a CV, very good. This is called, we're going to call this like a form. We call this a form, okay? This is a form, so we complete our information here. Exactly, it's similar to a CV because we have to include our information. Correct, very good, thank you, Kenneth, very good. That is the idea. So now, how do we ask and answer the questions is the point for today, okay? So here we have some ideas and I'm going to give you the ideas right now, okay? So let's see. So this is just an idea to start. Let's see. The first one is, what's your name? That's very simple, right? The other one is, what's your last name? Next we have, how do you spell it? That is a very common question they ask because in English, the spelling is different to the sound. The writing is different to the sound. So they need spelling most of the time. Okay? Now, next question we usually have here is, how old are you? Which is not how are you. It's different. Let's be careful with that. Okay? Let's be very careful with that. How old are you? It refers to the years. Okay? Be very careful with this. Now, what other questions we have? For example, we have your phone number or your cell phone number. What's your phone number and what's your cell phone number? That's what they ask for. Okay? Another question they usually ask is, when you talk about your occupation or your profession, what do you do? What's your occupation? Okay, these are the usual questions they ask. So we have to try to know what they can ask you when you introduce yourself. Okay? Another question that you can have here is your origin. It means, where are you from? Your city, maybe your country if you're not from Peru, or you're in another country, they ask you, where are you from? Another question that you can ask you is, what's your address? What's your address? For example, your house, the avenue, the street, the block, etc. And another one, which didn't have any effect, is what's your email address? So these are some of the questions you may be asked in an interview when you introduce yourself. So they say, please tell me about yourself. What's your name? What's your last name? What do you do? Where are you from? All these questions are possibly asked when you are introducing yourself for the first time in an interview, especially in a job interview. Okay? So any questions so far? These are only
No.
the questions. In a moment, we're going to see the answers. Okay? So we can practice a little bit. Yeah, no questions? Ken, it's okay?
It's okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's continue. Here we go. Now, I'm going to show you some previous vocabulary so you have no problems at the moment of responding. Okay? First of all, I'm going to show you this. This symbol, we call it at. Okay? The name of this symbol is at. When you mention your email address, it's at.
Yeah.
This symbol here is underscore.
Or underline, no?
Or underline. Perfect. Most common is underscore, but also underline. Correct.
Okay.
Both are okay. Good. Now we have this one in the middle. We call it dash, or they call it hyphen also, just in case. Okay, the two are correct. Okay. Dash or hyphen. Now we have, for example, if you don't have a phone number you only have your cell phone number, you have to respond, I don't have a phone number. Okay, that is the appropriate way.
Okay, phone number is the telephone of the house.
In your house.
Okay.
A landline, they call it.
Okay.
And here we have, just to review a little bit, a versus an. Sometimes we have some confusions. I made some examples here. We say a or a when the next sound is a consonant. I put sound because it's not necessarily the letter, but the sound. For example, a doctor, a mechanic. The sound is a d, the sound is an m, so it's a consonant sound. Okay? If I say a university, the sound is a j, it's not a u, so it's a university.
University.
The sound is a j. Exactly. Okay. It's always the sound. Okay, not the writing, but the sound. Okay?
Yes.
Now, when it's an, we have the next sound is a vowel. Okay? A vowel. So the first one is a consonant, the second is a vowel. Some people, I put this word on purpose. Most people say engineer. It's not engineer, it's engineer. Okay? An engineer. Engineer.
Engineer.
Perfect. That is the pronunciation. Okay? That's an engineer. And I can say an electrician.
Electrician.
So, is clear the idea a versus an?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Sorry. So far, any questions with this? Is that correct? Any questions here, sir?
No, it's okay.
Good. So, now, I put some templates for you to complete your information. So, when they ask you for your name, the question is, what's your name? So, what do you respond? You say, my name is, and you say your name. Yes. For example, what's your last name?
Yes, my last name is Hidalgo.
Perfect. How do you spell it?
Yes, it is Kenethh.
Very good. Now, how old are you?
Yes, I am 29 years old.
Perfect. That's correct. Great. That's the idea. Okay. Now we continue with this. What's your cell phone number? Or your phone number, sorry. You have a phone number.
Yes, my phone number is 967767348.
Wait. That's your phone number or your cell phone number?
Cell phone number.
You see? Yeah, okay, be careful. Yeah. Do you have a phone number?
I don't have phone number.
Exactly. That is the answer. I don't have a phone number. My cell phone number is little by little.
Okay.
One by one. Number little by little. Good. Now, when I say your occupation or your profession, the question is, what do you do? Okay? What do you do?
Okay. What do you do?
And the answer is, I am. Okay?
Yes.
So what do you do, Kenneth?
I am engineering.
I am an engineer.
I am an engineer. Okay. I am an engineer.
Very good. Don't forget engineer. Okay?
Engineer.
Uh-huh.
Engineer.
The word is engineer. A lot of people say engineer. It's not engineer. Believe me, please. Believe me. Okay, it's engineer. Okay.
Engineer. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, when I say origin, I say where are you from, or I
Where
can
are you
say
from?
where do you live. We have these two possibilities. Okay.
Okay.
For example,
Where are
if
you
you're not
from and where do you live?
exactly, you can
Okay.
say both. Those questions are possible.
Okay.
For
Okay.
example, if you are not from Lima, where are you from? I am from Cusco, for example. And where do
Yes.
you live? I live in Miraflores. I live in La Molina. I live in San Isidro. I live in
Okay.
Ingles, Oliva,
Where do you
etc.
live? If for you want to know where is the district?
Your house or your district, exactly.
A
Where do you?
specific place. Okay.
Exactly. Okay, that's
Okay.
it. So where are you from? You mention the city. Where do you
Uh,
live? You mention the district.
district. Okay.
hmm That is it. That is the idea. Now,
Yes.
your home address, you say Universitaria Avenue or whatever avenue or block or street, and you say the number 325. Put it, for example,
Yes.
325.
Yes.
And the last one is what's your email address? That's another question that we have.
Mm-hmm.
What's your email address in this case, Kenneth? You
Uh,
remember?
it is Kenneth L Hidalgo E at hotmail.com.
Very good. So no problems with the symbols. That's good.
Yes.
Okay, pretty good. So that is pretty much all what we are checking in this part here. I'm going to review because you were not in the first part, so I'm going to try to let's try to do this again so we can review very fast because we have some
Okay.
more time to check. Okay, so when we introduce it ourselves, so for example, in this case, what do you see here? What is this kind of event?
Uh, a social event. No.
Social event. What do you
Yes.
call this one? It's formal or informal? Do you think it's formal or it's informal?
Uh, yes. It's formal and casual. No. It's
Mm-hmm.
same.
Yeah.
Both. Mhm.
Yeah. For example, is it for work or is it for pleasure? What do you say?
Maybe that is for work.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So in this situation, when it's not necessarily well, this is a little more informal. It's not like for work, but it's like for presenting new people. We call them a gathering. Okay. Gathering,
Ga-
not a meeting. It's different to a meeting. Meeting is more for academic purposes or for work. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
In this case, it is a little bit more for meeting people, for interacting with new people. So they are
Yeah.
introducing themselves to new people.
Social gathering.
Gathering, social gathering.
Social gathering.
So when it's not related to work or studies, we call it a little more informal. It's a gathering.
Yes. Okay.
So this is when we talk about this social gathering, we refer to we speak like a little more informal. So we say hi, we say hello, or hey,
Hey.
right? We have these ways of speaking. We're not
Hey.
those.
Is like hello. Is
Yeah,
similar.
hi,
Okay.
hello, or hey. You can say that. Hey
Yes.
is very, very American.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's very common in North
Mm-hmm.
America. They say hey, hey all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In British, it's a little more hello, and hi is kind of is more neutral. Okay.
Okay.
Now, when we say when it's a little more, when you want to speak fast, you say When you want to
Okay.
sound slow, I am.
I am
Yeah.
okay.
hmm
Yes.
And your name. So I'm Kenneth, for
Okay.
example.
I'm Kenneth. I'm Kenneth. Yes.
hmm Or you can say I am, which when is a little. You want to sound a little slowly, so you want to
Yeah.
be well heard. Say I am. My name is. If you want to take your time, or my name's.
My
Do it
name's
faster.
my name.
hmm
Okay.
So that is the first part that we were doing. Now the responses. For example, I say hi, I'm Diego, and you tell me your
Nice
name.
to meet you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You say nice to hi. Let's just for example, I say hi, I'm Diego. You say hi, I'm Kenneth, and you say
Yes.
oh, nice to meet you, and the response is nice to meet you.
You.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay.
That's why I put in capital letters. Uh-huh. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Okay, so it goes up.
This is the correct pronunciation when you
Exactly.
finish this idea, no? This.
Exactly. So you
Okay.
say, hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
In the past, they say nice to meet you too. But that's very, very basic. So this is
Ah.
more real, more like
Yeah.
a real communication.
Ah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
The other is
Nice
from
to meet
books,
you.
right? From basic books. Nah, nice to meet you too.
Sí, yes.
So in this
I
case,
love this. Okay.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's very, very common. So
Yes.
in this case, it's a little more like in real
Ah.
situations.
Okay. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That sounds good. That's the way. Or good to meet you. Good to meet you.
It's the same.
Yeah, nice to meet you or good to meet you. You can use both.
Ah. Okay.
Those are the alternatives. And also,
Ah. Okay. Okay.
nice, good to meet you. Good to meet you with the you
Good.
up.
Okay. Good to meet you.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Correct. It's okay.
Perfect. Yeah. So now let's continue with this one. Now, how about this situation? What do you see here?
Interview job interview.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
Yes.
This is a little more formal, right? So this is a business interview or a job interview, as you were saying. So
Okay.
it is a different situation. So we need another kind of language. We cannot say hi or hello. We need to use some other words to interact, right?
Okay.
So in this context, we a
This is
little
a
more
formal, no?
formal.
Yes. Okay.
We say good morning, and this is a very common mistake. Say people good afternoon. It's not good afternoon, but it's good afternoon, right?
Good afternoon. Good
With a
afternoon.
noon.
Okay.
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. That's very common to many people say afternoon, but it's not exactly correct. We say good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon.
or you can say good evening, right?
Good evening.
Depending on the situation. Evening is a little difficult, but just in case, you never know. hmm So
Okay.
in these cases, when we talk about, we use no contraction. You don't say but you say I am, and you use your name and your last name. When
In
it,
formal context, I don't use contraction.
Not very
I need
much.
to
Not
use.
very much. You have to
Okay.
speak slowly so people understand you.
I am Kenneth.
But
Okay.
remember, it's an interview or it's a social meeting. You have to say your full name. My name
Okay.
is and
Kenneth
Kenneth
Hidalgo.
and your last name.
Okay. Kenneth Hidalgo in this case. Okay.
Exactly. You have to say your name, your full name.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I am Kenneth Hidalgo, or my name is Kenneth Hidalgo.
Okay. That's good.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Great. So now let's continue with the last part. We can say in these cases, nice to meet you. As again, good to meet you.
Okay.
Or another
Yes.
one that it says, how do you do?
How do you do?
Uh huh.
How
This
do
is
you
a
do?
very British form, but it's very common to hear it in interviews or in meetings. How do you do?
Okay.
How do you do? Okay. It's very
Yes.
common, and you can use it in informal contexts.
Okay. Okay.
Is that
How do
correct?
you do? Yes. Correct. It's good. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So here we go. As we already did this part, it's about the form. When you go to a job, then they ask you for your personal information. We already checked this. Let's do it fast. So there's some people who didn't see it. So let's go cover with this fast because we have very limited time. So when we talk about so
Yes.
yeah, we have to run a little bit. So the first one is what's your name, right? The pronunciation, what's
Yes.
your name?
What's your name? Yes.
The second one, please, could you help me? What's your
What's your last name?
uh-huh?
How do you spell it?
This is how.
How?
How do you
How do
spell?
you how do you spell it?
How do you spell it? Then
Spell
here
it.
is
How old are you?
perfect. How old are you? Please be careful with this one because some people confuse how are you with how old are you. It's a very,
Yes.
very common confusion.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now let's
Yes.
move here.
What's your phone or
Mhm.
what's your cell phone number?
That's correct.
What's your phone number or what's your cell phone number?
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. What do you do or
Uh-huh.
what's your occupation?
That's right.
Where are you from?
That's right.
What's your address?
And finally, and the last one about the email.
Email
What's
address.
what's your
What
email address?
What's your email address?
Very
Is
good.
address or is address?
You can see both. Both are correct. Address or address. The two are correct.
Address.
The two are correct pronunciations.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. So, how about the rest? Andre and Alberto, could you help us out with your participation? Could you help us? Is that correct? Is everything okay for you? Guys, is that correct for you? Okay. Well, let's assume it's okay for now. Okay, just to check. Well, we checked already this, but just to finish, and we have like a, oops, we can reinforce this before we leave. So the add, underscore, or underline, as you mentioned, Kenneth, we have the dash, the little phone. When you don't have a phone number, you say I don't have a phone number, which refers to the house. The A versus and sound, we already mentioned that. The pronunciation of an engineer, which is very common.
Engineer.
And mechanic, because some people say mechanic, but it's not mechanic, it's mechanic. Okay? So those things to check. Just
what is the other form of dash?
Dash is a hyphen. Hyphen. I'm going to write it here in the chat.
Who write this?
Let me find the chat here. Okay. Hyphen. This one. Can you see it? It's in the chat.
Okay.
Hyphen.
Okay, hyphen. Hyphen.
Hyphen.
Hyphen. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Hyphen. What is the common use? Dash.
Dash. More commonly is the dash.
American? Oh.
Yeah, it's American. Dash. Yeah.
Dash.
Okay. Good. All right, guys. So let's continue. So we will need your help to answer the questions, please. If you can help me, Andre and Alberto, to help Ken, because he already helped me out with this. So, what's the first question? What's your name? Who can answer that question?
I think I can. My name is Andre.
Very good. Okay. Last name? What's your last name, Andre?
My last name is Mateo.
Ken, could you ask the questions to Andre so we can interact a little more?
Spelling?
Yeah, spelling.
How do you spell in this?
My last name? Well, my last name, you can spell it like Mateo.
Good.
Yes.
The age, please, Ken. Could you?
Excuse me, I don't listen.
The age, how old? How old?
Okay. How old are you?
I am 22 years old.
Okay, pretty good. Let's continue. Phone number, cell phone number. Go.
What is your phone number?
Oh, my cell phone number is 9971532.
How do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do exactly?
Yeah, what do you do? I'm how do you say this? Business manager.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Lima, Peru.
Okay. Where do you live?
I live in somewhere.
Okay, pretty good.
Okay. What is your address?
My address it is amateo@camexperu.org.dot. Is that correct? You?
Repeat it, please. Repeat it.
Yes. Well, Andre Mateo 96 at gmail.com.
Okay, good. That's good. That's pretty good. Okay, pretty good. All right. Any questions, Norberto? Are you okay? Any questions here? Any questions? No, no question, Norberto. Okay. Let me see what. I think that's pretty much it. So, all right, guys. I don't know. Do you have any other questions that we could ask before we almost covered the everything? I don't know. You have any questions about this introduction of the class? I don't know. You have any ideas here? Anything to share? Any questions or something?
No, not for me or I'm okay.
No, I think everything is clear.
All right. I don't know. When our next class is about. Let me check. Just to have some. Okay. Describing my family in a job interview. So, for next class, if possible, I would like you to have something related to family members. What you remember about family members. If you can express some information about your family, what they do, or what can you tell us about that, so we can have like a conversational topic. And I will need a lot of your interaction, please. Okay, that is very important, so I can hear you, I can help you, we can learn from each other. Okay.
Okay.
Because you're it's basic English, but you're pretty good. So I'm really pleasantly surprised that I can speak at I can practice with you at a very good level. So it's going to be easy to go with the class. It's going to be fast, and we can flow with this. So congratulations on your level. So
Thanks.
no, I'm pretty surprised, and that's pretty good. If I speak too fast, please tell me. Slow down, okay? Sometimes I get excited about when I have good students. I get excited. So.
No, it's pretty cool right now. I can fully understand you. I don't know about
Kenneth, what do you say? It's okay? Am I speaking too fast? It's okay?
No,
or?
that's good. Yes. When is the next class?
It's next Friday.
Next Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the Friday is the basic class.
No, just next Friday is the second class, and the third and fourth class will be on Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Thursdays.
Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So I think that's pretty much it, right? So we're finishing for now. So if you have no more questions, I think that's all for now. I don't. You have no more questions, right? Everything's okay for now.
Yes.
No, everything's cool.
Yes.
All right. So I will be closing the meeting now. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you next class so we can continue interacting. All right.
Okay. Thanks to you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dio.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your holiday.
Same to you.
Bye bye.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.